So today we're going to be checking out an operating system that looks like Windows, feels like Windows, and operates like Windows, but it's actually not Windows. So let's get started. Now this operating system is actually called Wubuntu or Linux FX. I believe Wubuntu is actually based off Linux FX, but when I looked at the website between the two, it looked identical. So it could be from the same maker, just rebranded. I'm not too sure about that. But I gotta say, I'm very impressed on how close they got this to feeling and looking like a Windows 11 machine. So this is a fresh boot of the operating system, and you get presented with something called the Power Toys. This is their own application. Actually, there's a free trial on this Linux based off this application. So if you are planning to just theme everything yourself, you can, but you won't have the access to this Power Toys update tool that's supposed to make it look and feel similar to Windows. But in here, I could actually change the themes if I want. So right now it's on the light theme. So if I was to go over here, you could see it's light. It looks exactly like Windows 11. Like it's very hard to tell the difference. But if I wanted to switch to a dark theme, I just had to hit that, and there you go. Now you can see on the bottom right, it actually says you are using the free version of Power Toys. Power Toy tools running trial mode. So basically, if you want to run this in full version, which is $35, you will get the full version of the Power Toys. Otherwise, you're on the free version. I'm going to head back into system settings right now. Close this out. Kind of switch back to the white mode and show off what they have over here. So in reality, this doesn't actually give you all the stuff that you want. So if I wanted to go into sounds, it will actually open up the equivalent version of it in KDE. Or if I was to go to if I was to go to network, and if I hit Ethernet, it's going to go to the KDE version of their network manager. So it's basically it's like a fancier version of shortcuts. But yeah, this is all KDE in the back end. I got to say that this is all put together very nicely. Like if you wanted to scam somebody or make it look like you are actually using Windows, but not, this is like the perfect operating system to do so. I even got Microsoft Edge. So here we go. I'm going to open up the browser. And this is a full Edge browser that you see. And the best part of this is it actually uses Bing. So let's say I'm going to go to Audacity. I'm just going to search for it. It goes to Bing. I'm going to download Audacity, Windows installer, okay? Because this actually has one pre-installed already, so we can actually see if it's going to install Windows applications. And I'm going to over here. And look, it actually pulls up the icon like it's supposed to. Not all Linux does this, so this has to be implemented correctly. I could double click it and look, it runs Wine. And this is very common. If you already have Wine installed, it will automatically open exe files. So this didn't need much implementation, but the icons it did. So it was pretty cool that it could actually grab the icons. I'm going to install this application just like I would normally install any applications on Windows. Look, I'm just hitting next through everything. Create a desktop shortcut, install. Let me minimize this. It's going to install this like normal. I'm going to hit finish. Launch to Audacity. Look, I got my icon on top left. And there you go. You got Audacity installed just like you would install in Windows. Again, very easy, very integrated. It's pretty cool. Their store that they're actually using is still KDE Discover, so it's not anything fancy like the Microsoft store. It's just KDE Discover if you're familiar with it. You do have Windows updates if you have Windows updates. I mean, you do have updates just like this. And this is a theme that they actually use called Willow. So if you are looking for a Windows type theme without having to install all this stuff, get KDE Plasma, install Willow, and then you have your Windows 11 theme. Now back to the browser itself, and if I just Google Wubuntu, this is the website that you could download the operating system from. And we are using we are using Plasma. So this is why a lot of the stuff is KDE backend. So this is all KDE, KDE Connect. The settings were all KDE. They do have a Cinnamon version. And what I was explaining earlier in the video, that if I looked up Linux FX and Linux FX website, you see their website looks just like this one. So like you have the key, professional key, home, with the logo on the top left. Go up to the top over here, same thing. Logo, downloads, professional key, light and dark mode. So it's just like, it seems almost like it's just rebranded version of Linux FX, or I don't know what to call it. Like, that's how I feel like it's based off, or it is the same, just rebranded. Next, we also have Copilot. So this is Microsoft's version of AI, but they are using the web version. So basically it seems like it's integrated, but it's really just pulling up a browser. So if I was to ask it anything, say like, What happened to cell phone service today? There was major cellular network that provided widespread network outage today. Wow, that's actually current news because this is the February 22nd. If you look it up, February 22nd, we had widespread outages of cell phones. And I just pulled this up and it pulls today's events up. But yeah, that's their AI working. We have Microsoft Edge, like I showed you earlier. If you look at the icons on their folders, it looks very similar to what you would find on Explorer, like the buttons over here. We got the downloads over here. We have our desktop with our links. Our menus over here, if we were to look at our system monitor, we do have some stuff opening, so it's not gonna be accurate, but it's only using about 2 gigs of RAM. Used about 62 gigs of storage space, which is a lot. I didn't even remember installing that much. But yeah, this is all KDE. And if I go back into the menu itself, I could go to all apps and then you could see it's got a lot of the theming like Explorer. So we got Dolphin, but that looks like an Explorer icon. We got Google Chrome here. We got KDE Connect, Kmail, Console, a lot of KDE stuff. And then they use Microsoft Office online stuff. This will link you to the online website to their Microsoft counterparts like Excel or Outlook. Then we also have OnlyOffice pre-built in. So if I open that, OnlyOffice is probably the only office in the Linux lineup that looks exactly like Microsoft Excel and a Microsoft product. So I do like using it because I'm familiar with where all the icons are, but OnlyOffice is pre-installed in here. And then we have a few other things that you could go down. Let me see if they had that info center. You can see it's using 5.15, which is a pretty old kernel by now because we're on 6. But you can see I'm on a physical computer, which is an N95, 16 gigs of RAM. It's using LLVM pipe. And yeah, that's pretty much about it on this operating system. I just found it pretty interesting on how close it is to a Windows operating system it is, and how many things they got it integrated to feel like Windows, especially with Microsoft Edge, Copilot, Wine, the icons, a bunch of stuff. But someone's gonna get in trouble because this is too much like Windows. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys are new to this channel, consider subscribing and also hit that bell notification icon so you know when the next video is gonna be out. And as I say in my nerd cave, hack till it hurts.